There was a time not so long ago when people said the Western genre had ridden off into the sunset for good. That was until a show called Yellowstone lassoed our screens. The Duttons, the family of Montana ranchers, defend their land with determination. I mean, who doesn't love drama in the Wild West? Now, this isn't just about one series taking over the TV charts from galloping back in 1883 to 1923. Yellowstone wasn't content just sitting at the number 2 spot behind NBC Sunday Night Football. It began to spread its wings, or rather its hooves, launching spin-offs that dug deeper into the rich history of the land and its people. So now there is one of the most awaited spin-offs, and it's called Yellowstone 4/6. The show paints a vivid image of wild Mustangs, cowboys who have seen it all, and the hot Texas sun beating down on their backs. It is that very place described by Rip Wheeler in Yellowstone as the birthplace of cowboying. But as the months turned to years, there was still no sign of this legendary 4/6 series. And it's kind of irritating, isn't it? So will we step foot on that iconic ranch again? Is Yellowstone 4/6 a myth or an upcoming sensation? What's its story, and how does it fit into the grand Yellowstone 4/6 tapestry? Well, we are going to answer all of your questions, so keep watching while what to expect from Yellowstone 4/6. Yellowstone 4/6 is taking so long. Will it ever really happen? Did you ever wait so long for something that you nearly forgot about it? Well, that's where we are with Yellowstone 4/6. This show made waves when announced in February of 2021, but in May of 2022, Paramount dropped a mini bomb that they shared plans to first air the series on their TV network and then move it to their streaming service in Paramount Plus. Yet here's the catch. We have been left in suspense for more than a year now. We are all in the dark about the cast, the directors, or even a solid plot. But what is causing this TV traffic jam actually? Well, if TV shows were meals, Taylor Sheridan would be a master chef with too many pots on the stove. Since Yellowstone, he has served up a buffet of shows including Mayor of Kingstown, 1883, 1923, and yes, other than Yellowstone 4/6, there's also an upcoming lawman, Bass Reeves. Also, Sheridan has star-studded plans including spin-offs with big names like Billy Bob Thornton and even Matthew McConaughey. You see, Sheridan's juggling more than most of us could ever dream of. He's not the one to hand over the reins to someone else. Now that is dedication, but also a holdup for our 4/6 dreams. Why? Well, that question will lead us to Yellowstone 4/6's release date. First, Paramount Network said that Yellowstone 4/6 is set to hit our screen in late 2023, together with Part 2 of Yellowstone Season 5. However, the release of 4/6 might skid into 2024 because Sheridan dropped a hint that the show might be pressing the pause button together with Yellowstone Season 5 Part 2. So why? Well, due to the ongoing Writers Guild of America and Screen Actors Guild strike, where the writers and actors have an ongoing protest that started in May 2023, Sheridan cannot whip up any 4/6 script. But for Yellowstone Season 5 Part 2, the script is done. But yeah, there's also the Screen Actors Guild strike too, so now that is in pause. The 4/6 Ranch is a real-life Yellowstone location in Texas. Picture the grandeur of John Dutton's Yellowstone Ranch. Now, what if we told you it's not all just camera tricks and clever sets? And you're not going to believe this. So keep watching, because the heart of the story, the 4/6 Ranch, is as real as the Texas wind. Yep. Nestled near the Texas Panhandle, this iconic ranch isn't just a backdrop. It is the pulse of Taylor Sheridan's inspiration. This historic gem stood tall and proud under one family's watch for over 100 years. But like all great tales, change was on the horizon. In a twist straight out of a movie script, Taylor Sheridan swooped in and got the keys to the kingdom. In 2021, with a jaw-dropping $350 million, he laid claim to an expansive 270,000 acres. To put that into perspective, cowboys, that's like owning almost double the space of Chicago. But why such a hefty price? Well, Sheridan wasn't just buying land, he was investing in a legacy. For him, the legend of the 4/6 was more than a story. It was a childhood dream. And now, he literally lives, breathes, and even films it. With Yellowstone in 1883 bringing the real ranch to our screens, it is clear that this isn't just business for Sheridan, it is passion. So don't be shocked to see Sheridan calling the shots right from his porch. because beyond just history and grandeur for Sheridan, the 4 Sixes is home. It's Texas. It's pride. It's, where as he puts it, representing the state is more than just a title. It is an honor, a class, a responsibility. And in Texas, respect is always the name of the game, whether in agreement or not. What could Yellowstone 4 Sixes be about? So the hot scoop is the teaser of Yellowstone 4 Sixes, which paints a picture of a legendary ranch as old as time. The description goes, founded when Comanches ruled West Texas. The 4 Sixes Ranch is not just a piece of land, it's history in motion. Imagine a place where old world charm meets fierce challenges at every corner. Sounds pretty intriguing, right? But they didn't know which characters would grace our screens. Now, Jimmy Herdstrom's journey isn't a smooth one. Remember how he got in some real trouble with John Dutton? Well, John decided that Jimmy needed a crash course in adulting and sent him off to the 4 Sixes to shape up. Fast forward to season 4, which shows Jimmy riding into Texas like a new cowboy. By season 5, our boy's cowboying game? On point. Plus, a hint of romance is brewing between him and Emily, who is played by Catherine Kelly. But here is the real curveball. Season 5 of Yellowstone ends with a twist. After a disease scare, half the crew, including big guy Rip Wheeler, set off for Texas. Now, if this doesn't scream spin-off setup, I don't know what does. And for us, if Paramount Network is going to premiere part 2 of season 5 together with Yellowstone 4 Sixes, and there is Rip Wheeler in the 4 Sixes Ranch, there is a high probability that Sheridan is going to start the Yellowstone 4 Sixes with some of the regular characters from the Mother series to market it to the mass. But for us to be able to fully talk about this theory and back it up with some proof, we need to talk about who is in Yellowstone 4 Sixes. Well, we've seen glimpses of the 4 Sixes Ranch in Yellowstone, again thanks to Jefferson White's character getting shipped off for a cowboy boot camp experience. And with him landing there, we were introduced to a few potential stars for the spinoff. This Cowboys and Cowgirls strongly suggests that we might be seeing more of Jimmy and possibly his new love interest Emily. But let's put the brakes on that for a second, as neither Jefferson White, our dear Jimmy, nor Catherine Kelly, the enchanting Emily, have spilled any beans. But Jefferson White gave a cheeky response about his future when asked, saying, "I wish I knew." He further admitted that he's always kept in the dark about Taylor's plans, and from his experience, Taylor's twists and turns are always better than anything he could have dreamed of. And some buzz suggests that fan favorites like Rip, just like we've talked about before, Beth, Teeter, Walker, and Ryan might dip their toes into the Texas heat of the 4 Sixes Ranch. Yellowstone is highly connected to Matthew McConaughey's spinoff. February of 2023 delivered a shocker that Kevin Costner, the heart of Yellowstone, is hanging up his cowboy hat. He is setting his sights on another Western jewel, Horizon. But when one door closes, another swings wide open. And as we said earlier, Matthew McConaughey's spinoff is one of these doors. Sheridan said that his spinoff concept is just like his idea of a prequel. Now, if you're scratching your head right now, you are not alone. Because, what does that even mean? Will it be an independent story like 1883 and 1923? However, you won't believe this because an insider from Deadline spilled some beans, and there is a strong link between McConaughey's venture and the original series. So we don't even know if the 4 Sixes spinoff will feature Matthew McConaughey or not, because he, with his unmistakable Texas twang, might be giving us a hint. With the 4 Sixes located in Texas and some of our beloved characters headed there, it is not impossible that McConaughey's series is the talked about 4 Sixes. But one thing is for sure, this means that some of our favorite regular characters might show up in McConaughey's spinoff. And one last question is, can Matthew McConaughey wear the boots of Kevin Costner and be the next John Dutton? Leave your thoughts in the comment section and we will surely read it. Also, your comment will have a chance to be mentioned in one of our videos, just like Joseph Agnello, who said, "There is respect for Costner even when he is not in the scenes. His presence is constantly felt." And this comment from the YO Coyote caught our attention. "I like his movies, but he pissed me off with his anti-Second Amendment rant. Hey man, just give your guns, dude. I guess as long as he never touches a gun in the show, he won't be a hypocrite. I hate when these actors blow their horns about guns and violence, but then make the very movies that promote it." Ironically, Tim McGraw and Faith Hill, 1883, are also anti-gunners, and his character used a gun to kill how many people? If they truly stood by what they believed in, they would not have accepted the roles. Alright man, the Wile Coyote, well that is a good point, but imagine if actors only took on roles that align perfectly with their beliefs. We'd have a Hollywood filled with biographies and documentaries, and James Bond would probably be a teetotaling diplomat. It is the magic of cinema that allows a staunch vegetarian to play a carnivorous villain, or a claustrophobic one to play an astronaut. Remember, the silver screen is a canvas where reality is often suspended. It's like asking a magician if they genuinely believe that they could saw someone in half. It's all part of the act, and sometimes that act is what sparks essential conversations in our society. Right? Oh, and one more thing, we do love you, the Wile Coyote, and the rest of our viewers here, but maybe you are missing the latest and hottest update about Season 2 of 1923. If that is the case, ride on your horses and watch this video right here and be the first to know the truth before everyone else knows the news.